go Wang Chung tonight.
Okay. I will Wang
Everybody
Chung.
Wang
Everybody
Chung
Wang Chung.
tonight.
All right, here we go.
You know, Brian, today, bro, we did something that I'm telling you, despise. Like, if there was a official who ran on this one thing, I would probably vote for him, no matter what else. I'm telling you, it's so.
All right, lay it on me.
Daylight savings time.
Oh, dude, this is so pathetic.
It is the stupidest, dumbest, the waste of. Oh my goodness gracious!
It doesn't make
bro.
any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. The Earth spins the same damn speed, didn't it?
Like,
what the hell?
And it wouldn't make a lick of difference if we stopped it. Nobody would complain. Nobody would gripe. Nobody would be upset.
But the research shows it affects sleep. It affects productivity. It affects our energy is actually worse when we're doing it right. And like, and this goes along with the theme of this episode, freaking, by the way, about the government not doing jack about anything, because since World War I, we've been doing this stupid stuff, and we haven't even we still wasn't to get it over with.
Wasn't the origination of it something to do with farmers?
Yeah.
That was the excuse they used.
I thought it was wartime. It was something about wartime in World War I, blah blah blah. I don't remember exactly what, but the point is, it's been going on that daggone long,
and it's not done anybody any good the whole time.
Well, we have all of these sleep researchers that said the spring forward increases heart attacks, strokes, and traffic accidents in the days that follow that.
Yeah.
But we do it anyway.
I made a point, though, last night to go to bed an hour early so that I didn't lose any sleep.
Look, I can't prove this. Here's what I'm saying. I hear you. And I tried to do this myself.
Yeah.
But your clock is still trying. But the thing is, this is a common theme to this freaking episode, by the way. But I can't prove this. The energy consumption is greater when we're on daylight savings time. There's that. We know that and sleep researchers have said this and everything else. Okay. But it's a good inference. The energy lobby has deep pockets, bro. And it goes along with everything else that we can say about our government, the corrupt, immoral BS we got going on. It makes total sense why we still haven't got rid of it, because, well, maybe some pockets are, being lined with some moolah, bro.
Yeah, but here's my thing. You got to, this is the thing I don't understand. What are we lining their pockets for? Like, this isn't consequential.
No,
like,
if we use more energy, and so Americans actually pay more for energy, then we consume more of their product.
Dude, but we're getting raped anyway.
I know we are. Dude, my electric bill will tell you straight up. We are getting
mine every month. I get friggin' raped every month.
It's not. I can't prove that, by the way. It's just something. I'm just saying it makes total sense to me.
Listen, conspiracy theory is just good common sense nowadays.
Apparently so. It's more than that. All right, so look, here's the thing. We have a couple big things to talk about today, because I kind of want to because we're going to, I really want to talk about Mr. Wild Bill himself, Clinton, and his testimony with the Epstein. Because I think it's just so, there is like one political family that we have that we can pretty much, I mean, honestly, everybody should take an honest step back and go, yeah, they're crooked as hell.
Yeah.
Like the Clintons, okay? And we, so here's what I wanted to find out. Hold on. I have Bill Clinton is literally named in the DOJ Epstein files. You ready for this? 1,193 times.
Yes.
Okay. Now I have to quote that. That doesn't mean that's like, there's logistic stuff. There's like photographs, there's unverified allegations, and there's like, some other things in there. But still, if you consider that the Force in Star Wars, like the Force is mentioned 161 times throughout the whole entire saga.
That's right.
And you got Bill Clinton being named 1,193 times across the files. And then he says, I didn't see nothing, George.
I didn't see nothing.
I don't know what was going on.
I don't know why I was in a hot tub. I don't know why I was in a hot tub with him.
I mean, I floated on that.
I was in a hot tub, and all of a sudden I looked up, and there he was, man. I was like,
he flew on that dude.
I was like, what you doing here, dog? I don't know why you're on my hot tub.
Oh,
and he was like, I'm Jeffrey Epstein. He's like, I don't know you, man.
No, he flew. He flew on the plane at least 17 to 30 times.
Okay. Yes. All right. So here's a great example of what you're talking about. I actually watched a bunch of the footage that they released from the interviews. First of all, Hillary Clinton is as crooked a human being on a planet.
Come on, you cannot. Why would you look at that and go, "Oh, she's good"?
Yeah, no, she's not good. No, the number one metric I see when someone's lying is if they have to constantly, if they tell what they claim to be the truth and their instant reaction is to defend their position before it's time, you're lying.
Yeah.
But it was Bill Clinton's demeanor through the whole thing. He laughed. He thought things were funny. And you want to know why? Because he knew 100% nothing was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's just
he knew 100%. And it all kinds of falls in line because if you look at the entirety of the Democratic Party, they're all behaving the same way. They're all laughing and talking about cutting off wieners and stealing but they're never going to get Trump out of office. They can't. They don't have the votes to impeach him. They just like to say that word out loud because it makes them feel good.
Well, it riles up the base.
But on top of the thing is if you look at the statistics and all of everything else, they don't have a base.
You do. You have the blue-haired old people who are getting
the blue-haired psychotic feminists.
Oh yeah, bro.
That miss their moment of glory.
They're so mad because they can't have a man in their life that they there's
I'm 90 and I didn't have kids and a husband, and now I'm all barren.
But the point being is okay, so we have Clinton and all that stuff having all this nonsense and all this evidence point, and nothing's being done. You have files being taken away from the current Epstein stuff and everything else. It is just look, and again, I don't care who's in office. I don't care who is, if you have a legitimate thing with child endangerment or abuse or trafficking or whatever, I don't care what your political affiliation is. I don't care what title you have. You should be there's no, I don't know. I don't have a level of punishment that is suitable. I really don't. So for me, I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care if it's whoever. If you've done some things or been part of some things with some kids, you deserve more than what I can even think of what to do with you. Right?
Yeah.
So that's my look, that's my public opinion here. I don't care. Now I want the evidence to support that. But it seems like we have all this how can you have millions of pages, bro? Millions of pages and you have zero.
Yeah.
Except for Maxwell.
Well, it's just like everything else, right? Like, she was the scapegoat. She was the closest proximity to actually having Jeffrey Epstein after he quote unquote killed himself, which several, rational, doctors have come out and been like, no, that's not the thing.
I know.
But here's the thing she was the sacrificial lamb.
Well, she was. Epstein got that deal, and then she was a sacrificial lamb. Then here's Bill Clinton, who Epstein visited the White House, what was it, 17 times while Clinton was in office.
Yeah.
17 times, dude.
And Hillary claims to have never met him. She came to a place where you lived 17 times during your husband's presidency, and you never met him.
I just look. This is a huge. What do we do? This is the thing that I keep thinking about that. What do I do about this? Right?
Nothing. There's nothing we're going to do about it.
I can't do anything. There's we can.
I'm
sitting there talking about here to make it at least.
We can talk about it now and say how we feel, honestly. But there's not going to be any justice. Again, I go back to what I said last week. I have a hard time with it just because every time they run this whole bunch of crap across the news for them, you just re-victimize all these people that have been victims of Jeffrey Epstein. And they're really the true, they're the ones that lost in all this, right? And if Trump wanted to know, he would know. If Trump wanted to prosecute these people, he would.
Yeah, 3 million pages of stuff, and you ain't made any prosecutions. Give me a break.
If you can get rid of 2 to 3 million illegal Americans in just under 9 months, you could figure out what was going on and prosecute some people. But here's the thing. Our system is, and one day I hope we have a conversation about what we talked about earlier, about how deep the rabbit hole is for this. The corruption in our government is so, when we say corrupt government, I think people think bribes and, back channel deals. That's not even the beginning. Like the amount of corruption that is so deeply rooted in our government is so evil and so ugly that I don't think if you did took the veil off of it, most people would be able to look at it.
Okay. Here's the thing. We've had some resignations, right? We've seen that.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Here's a
whatever.
Here's a fat here's a fat payout. You can leave now.
But I think I'm gonna. I pulled this up and I listened to it the other day because I thought, and I really didn't have any intention of having this be a part of it. But Father Ripperger was on Sean Ryan show.
Yeah, I'm actually about halfway through that episode right now.
Yeah, and I mean the first freaking 11 minutes of it is actually like really direct to this.
Yeah,
I mean, and he pretty much lays it out how I would interpret it. Like, look, you have some demonic type of, and he uses the term diabolic all the time in that episode, but he calls it diabolic stuff that's going on at the upper echelon of things, because we live in the world that is, Satan is loose on, right? And he uses some pretty direct language to say, look, you got some real occult stuff happening in these elites and everything else that run the world, because they've made bargains with demonic forces in order to get where they're at.
Yeah, it's an evil world, man.
I mean, you can't.
It's a truly to its core evil world.
But when you see stuff like, and this is where I think for me this makes total sense, because if you look at how the Epstein stuff has been taken care of, and like the sexual misconduct vote was like didn't happen, which is absurd. And dude, no Republican that voted no for that is going to get a vote for me. Period. Dot. No. You will not. I will not vote for you ever again. Right. So you have all these. We have such an obvious cover up of stuff.
Well,
I mean, come on. What do you think of this?
Look at the surface of it. I mean, look at the surface of it, man. Bill and Hillary Clinton were subpoenaed. They dictated when it would happen, how it would happen, what would happen, and where it would happen. How many people do you know that get subpoenaed before the government that can stand up and go, oh, okay, but we're going to do it our way? No. This whole, the absolute, for lack of a better term, shit show that is our government is so evil and so full of just venom that they're bold about it. Well, they don't care. At the end of the day, and here's some advice I would give to the left. Do you not think that as people who are conservative as we are, that when we see these things go on, we don't want to lash out and get upset and angry? It doesn't work. You can go out there and march around and say, I'm for dudes with
whatever
vaginas or whatever you want to say. It doesn't matter, because they're going to do what they want to do. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about what they don't. They don't care about justice, because justice makes them accountable. If they wanted justice, they would all probably be on the stand for something that they've done.
Well, here's the thing. I think Ripperger said that he specifically called it what do you say? It's like an organized criminal syndicate of some sort.
Called it criminal. I want to say called it the criminal occult. Yeah,
so, organizational. I don't remember, but it's organized occult activity at the highest level.
Yeah,
and then he suggested that the why we've only seen what we've seen and how it's been done is strictly kind of like a diversionary tactic to say, like, here's just enough to show you this, and there's nothing going to be done about it. Yeah. But here's just, we're going to appease you in this, and then because you've already seen what happens in the public right now. Yeah. Like no one's talking about this that much anymore.
No.
Even though there's millions of pages, there's no prosecutions, and children have been, unbelievably
irreparably damaged.
Oh, not just damaged, but murdered, and even there's all kinds of, I can't say it because it will. It can't be on YouTube of what was in these files.
Yeah.
And it's like, and look, you don't have to adopt a Catholic or Christian or whatever framework to understand this. But the reality is, if you're even looking at this from a logical perspective,
yeah,
it all points to something at the very top that's controlling these type of things.
Yeah.
And it's evil.
Mm-hmm.
It is evil to the core.
Again, I think we should go back to. I'm of the opinion that especially for people who commit offenses against children, I think we need to go back to public hangings. You don't deserve.
That's just not good.
That's just.
I'm just thankful that God says justice is His.
Yeah,
and revenge is His mine, is what He says.
And I tell you what,
I'm just thankful.
I'm hoping that some of you get to meet Him, because you're not going to like what you get. But anyway.
So we got, all right. So look, I'm not going to beat this horse anymore. Yeah. Although I just think it's absurd that here we are again. And I just look at it from being a dad. And if God forbid anything ever happens to one of my kids, there's no earthly organization or whatever that would, I don't know.
Dude, I'd raise it all to the ground.
I know it would kids. I would just be
it's
just the way it is, bro.
It's heartbreaking.
Yes.
It's heartbreaking that a lot of people live in fear, and it's not because they have the wrong idea. It's because they understand, and the veil's off and they see what's happening.
All right. So we are 9 days in, Brian, to our Iranian.
Yes.
Iranian conflict.
All right. So let's talk about this for a minute.
Yep. Let's get it going.
It says nobody's defending the Iranian regime. And that's true. Nobody's defending Khomeini. Nobody thinks that he was a saint. Even the Democrats are coming out and they're like, dude, this dude was crazy. Like, there's something deeply. He killed 40,000 of his own people, I guess, to try to prove a point. I'm not really sure.
Don't protest.
He was running a brutal theocracy. Other than the few that were suckling at the teat of his power, those are the only ones that will mourn him. And trust me, they won't mourn him long. It's an issue that's Donald Trump ran on in 2024 campaign was no new wars. Now, I have a differing opinion than most people about this. I'll be honest. He said it consistently. MAGA voters believed him, and they should have. I mean, he might have meant it at the time, right? Like, we don't know. We're never going to be able to look behind the scenes to know exactly what motivated this, right? Like, they're going to tell us things, but there might have been heightened circumstances that we didn't know about, 9 days ago, he started a war. He didn't have a congressional vote, which legally he didn't have to. If he deemed someone an immediate threat, he didn't have to have congressional approval for a strike. Without a declaration, without a shifting, and with a shifting rationale, and the Congress just voted to let him keep going. All right, so here's my differing opinion on this. I don't think we should be involved in any conflict anywhere. And here's why I say that. The Bible, first of all, the Bible says that there will never be peace there. It said it. There will never be peace there. You cut off the head of the snake, another one grows back. They're already looking for the next Khomeini. They're not waiting.
Well, they looked for him, then we blew him up.
And then now they're looking for him again. They've already started.
I think we've blown up like 4 or 5 of them by now.
Actually, I think they had 60 or 65 people total in their leadership, and 58 of them are gone. Dude, this is called total decimation of your leadership. I would say call him something else. Call him the Ayatollah happy sunflower
I would
man.
just say that. I mean, you want to talk about something that we appear to be like uber. I mean, like, there's no doubt the overwhelming force that we have brought to bear, right?
Yeah.
And this is for me like, okay, so let me clarify where I'm at here.
Go, please do.
Because I'm not, look, the lines on a map we have, it's not like that's something that God looks down on and goes, oh yeah, you got this border, you can't operate there. Matter of fact, he tells us to go, the Great Commission to bring the gospel to everybody. So for me, when I've been seeing Iranian Christians being persecuted and Jews being persecuted, all this kind of stuff in brutal ways in Iran and all this. So of course I don't obviously want that, and I want that to stop.
Yeah. Nobody wants people to die like that.
No. And so and seeing women being abused the way they are over there and all that kind of stuff for the way they did. Okay. So I'm not going to lose a single blip of sleep about anything in Iran's regime being toppled. That's not true at all. No way. It's a really good. Well, it can't be. Well, I won't say can't, but
it's what should have happened.
But do I think that this is a war? I think that the framing of this saying and why they keep saying it's a war is because they want to push the point that it hasn't been ratified. Hasn't been gone through Congress.
Yeah, they want to politicize it.
Yes, they do. Now. Should it, and do I want another war or a conflict or a strike? No, absolutely not. I truly do think that Trump should have thought about this one a little bit more and I don't think I just don't think he's done this well as like, he's going to promise all this stuff just like a normal politician does. And then at the end of the day, he's going to say, well, I meant it then, but things change. And so now we're not going to do that. And, so him hauling around on this is a political move.
But again, I can't 100% say that because we are in a conflict with another country and lives are at stake, and there are things that we probably don't know and will never know. No. Will I say that Trump is not the greatest at this? Might have been something you might have sold a little differently than you sold it this time, because you sort of sold it stupidly.
I don't think Trump could have done it at all. Because I think the way the media and the left is about Trump, that it didn't matter what he said. It didn't matter if they said, well, they actually have unicorns and they're like killing all the unicorns. Yeah. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
They're just going to, matter of fact, they'd probably go and be like pro hunting unicorns at that point. I mean, anything that's anti-Trump is.
Anything that's on the negative of Trump, they're going to be
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. And I don't actually disagree. Because I don't, all these things happen. Now, do I have a little bit, like, my opinion about Trump is better than previous presidents a little bit, but I still don't care for how the Epstein stuff and this whole conflict with Iran has been handled. That's where I'm at.
I agree with that. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. But, and I'm going to read something, man, and it may be that this was not, nobody cares, right? But, did you listen to James Carville, political Democrat pundit? Basically what he said was, I tried to find it, but it's going to take a minute to look it up. But he went on national television and went on a rant and said, I am proud to have TDS. He insulted the president and said that he wanted Jesus to rain down the curse of TDS on him because he so loved the fact that he had Trump deranged, and expletive after expletive, and just a psychotic rant. It was psychotic. Like, when I was watching it, I was like, this is a man who's not in his mind. Like, this is a man who's literally, that he saw the edge and he went, you know what? I'm swan diving.
Demonic.
Like totally out of control. Like, this was something like, I think we're now seeing a different level. Like, it's the Epstein thing. We're now seeing a different, I'll call it a demonic level of boldness.
Ripperger mentioned this, by the way.
Yeah. Like it sounds ridiculous, but have you ever seen Constantine with Keanu Reeves?
Sure, I have.
Where, he tells the guy that he saw a demon try to come to his plane. And the guy's like, angels stay in heaven, demons stay in hell. No. Hell is hell is on the horse and it is riding right down our throat right now because these people have gone. This is a level. Look, do you see conservatives in the streets like having total mental and emotional meltdowns and screaming and punching people in the face and assassinating people? And do you see any of that happening?
No, Brian, I do not.
Can you honestly, look, you can hate me. Most liberals do, and that's okay. But you cannot honestly look at me with any modicum of a brain and go, yeah, this is normal.
Well, they will say that. And I mean, even the educated peer group of ours,
yeah,
are somehow enamored with this crap. And I mean, I think it's, dude, I'll be honest with you, and I think it just goes back to the whole about God's chosen people and who's not. I don't know. There's a lot of times you got to look around and go, maybe that's true. You know, that veil is real, and maybe God says you ain't going to pierce that veil because you're not a chosen people.
Well, I don't know. I don't even know that it's that. I think that I can officially say amongst the left, we are in the middle of a new pandemic, and it is a pandemic of chosen mental illness.
Yeah, well, okay.
Not, oh, I had some hereditary mental illness. No, you were normal, and then something happened, and now you're insane, and you're not making any sense.
I mean,
who are you swaying? Who are you swaying?
Yeah.
Who are you swaying by going on there and screaming into your phone and posting a video on Instagram? Who are you swaying?
Yeah.
Explain to me who you're swaying. Explain to me the difference you're making. You're not making any difference. You're just being a whiny pee pants bitch. Shut up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I'll be honest. I have completely stopped talking to the left that I know. The people on the left that I know. We don't really have any conversations anymore.
I don't know. That might be I might have LDS, left derangement, because I love to have conversations. Because I want to hear. Because here's the thing I can guarantee you that happens, even with people who I would consider moderately left. You get into your conversation, and then you're about 2 minutes in the conversation, and you're like, normal. And then the crazy thing pops in. And then you're like, okay, well, let's focus on that. Well, then when they start focusing on the crazy thing is when they start spiraling. And the thing about it is I don't want to not talk to them in the sense that I want to share with them why I believe what I believe, and not necessarily politically, spiritually. That's my job.
Well, that's where I was going. I'm no longer I'm not really, if someone, like, I really rarely try to be political about anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's really just about an ideologue that I have that has a biblical lens to it.
Yeah.
That's really where I go from. I don't really care about right or left because both of them have disappointed me, and they continue to do so.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Right now, the middle's disappointing me.
Everything. That's what I'm saying. So the political game is just a circus full of monkeys that I don't want to have anything to do with.
Yeah.
Right. They can throw their bananas and their feces over there.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to have anything to do with it.
Let me live my life.
I'm just going to look. I'm just going to open my Bible, and that's where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm going to read the things that I feel like I should read.
Let's go back to this. We know that we're the fog of war is real here because the man, Al Jazeera and NBC and like all the NPR. I mean, there's like all these. They are throwing out all kinds of stupid stuff, and it's like you cannot get the truth about anything. So like, cause even the casualty reports, all over the place, right? In their two different versions, the infrastructure being targeted, which is, you have this whole thing about the school and everything. That's not accurate either.
Yeah.
Like
nothing's been verified.
There's all kinds of reports that say it was this or that or this. And it's like, you just don't know. So, I mean, it's really unconfirmed. You just, please, people just got to look at this way. It's unconfirmed about all this stuff. But, you know, I just want to say I hate that it's called the MAGA base, by the way, when they refer to whenever the media talks about it and they say the MAGA base. Why can't I just be a freaking liberty-minded American.
Yeah, why can't I just be a conservatively minded American? Why do I have to be MAGA? Why do I have to be middle? Why do I have to be anything other than just a conservative minded?
Because I
believes in my country.
I don't like
God country, right?
I don't like being called even a Republican. Like, I'm not a Republican.
I will be honest with you. I am a registered Republican. I have been for a long time.
But that's not what I identify as.
But I don't. The Republican Party is just as innate as the Democratic Party.
Well, again, we're talking Epstein. We're talking.
I mean,
the whatever.
Well, to look at this, just
daylight savings time.
A great example is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let's talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene. And Rosie O'Donnell. They have something in common. When it got hard, they ran. Marjorie Taylor Greene resigned. Said, well, I'm not going to fight. Well, it wasn't a few months ago that you were telling people about their fake eyelashes and insulting Democrats. What changed? I'll tell you what changed. It got hot and you couldn't stand the heat. And Rosie O'Donnell, I'm sorry. I consider you a traitor. Your country was, according to you, in turmoil, and your answer was to run, was to leave. So you have zero credibility in any conversation. So the left and the right share a lot of common, crappy things that they do. So, I mean, let's just look at the common sense of it. We have a Republican president, a Republican House, and a Republican Senate, and they still can't get anything done.
No.
So the big, beautiful bill, how much of a mess did they have to go through to get that passed?
And it's terrible. It ends up being a garbage legislation.
It is. Did I get a big tax return? Sure.
I haven't done my taxes yet.
Gas prices are not down. You bombed Iran. Gas prices are now over $3 a gallon again.
Okay. Now you just said this, and I want to make. I didn't put this in here because where does China get the bulk of its
Iran?
Yeah.
You didn't even have to ask me that question, bro. Now this has definitely put a crimp in China's.
90% of Iran and Venezuela's export went to China.
Yeah.
Well, now because of the Venezuela regime and because of Iran, we have just taken that away.
Yeah, we took it away. Yeah, good.
Right. So you don't tell me that don't have a place in this at all.
And here's why I think China has stalled out on a lot of things. They were going to take Taiwan. Well, all of a sudden they're not so interested. They were all about helping Russia. All of a sudden they're not so interested.
See, this is what people don't understand, bro. People aren't the guys that are running this ship up here at the top. Trump's not an idiot.
No, he's not stupid.
Hegseth. Sorry, he's not a moron either.
No,
those guys are sharp.
Yeah,
right. And the generals they have very sharp.
Yeah,
they're not doing this stuff on accident, bro. And it's not like they're saying, okay, here's what I'm going to tell you is it's not all about imminent threat.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying that there wasn't one, but it's not all about that.
No, it's not. This is definitely has to do with China and everything else.
This is political international chess is what this is.
Here's an example of that. The USS the biggest freaking carrier we've ever built that's brand new that we shipped out there.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it now. Anyway, guess where they parked it? They parked it in front of freaking Israel.
Yeah.
It's sitting there. You know why? Because as soon as Iran tries to attack anything, and if something goes towards that freaking aircraft,
it's blocking the Bay of Hormuz.
Now it's we're self-defense.
Yeah.
And now our allies can't say anything about that either.
Yep.
It's a total game.
Yeah.
We put these puzzle pieces there, bro.
Yeah.
It's not like we don't look. I think we have way too much military assets. I'll be honest. We spend way too freaking much money on military.
We have the largest military budget in the world.
Oh, it's by like double or something. Or triple or something. I can't remember. It's really stupid. Even China. But okay. Anyway, but my point being is that you can call this a war, you can call it strikes or whatever, but we've put these the pieces in place to where it was a foregone conclusion, right? We put the carriers over there. I mean, there is so much stuff that we don't know about. The China connection, all this stuff, dude. This is chess.
And if you don't think the one thing you better realize about all this is they position this to make Russia and North Korea very aware of how quickly we can throttle down on somebody. Think about what's happened in 9 days. We've literally taken the majority of Iran's defense capabilities away from them just like that.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
And now, and you don't think that Trump didn't do it this way so he could go on TV and go, well, I haven't put any boots on the ground yet. You don't need to, bro. You've taken the Bay of Hormuz. They're literally scrambling to just try to figure out how to survive at this point, right? This whole thing was about as methodical a strike as you could make because it sent a message across the board. And I think all of this actually began. I think they knew they were going to hit Iran when they hit Venezuela.
I guarantee it.
I think they knew that they had to hit Venezuela, get him out, take over the transportation of the oil, and then go, you know what? We did this because we want, and don't get me wrong, he was a criminal. They brought him to justice. I'm fine with that. I have no problem with him being in a prison, he's killed millions of Americans. He deserves it.
Yeah, again, not losing sleep over that. But we're not the world police.
So we cut off one leg, and then the other leg was Iran. And then we went in and cut off that leg. And now China, who is uber dependent on oil, is now a lone gunman.
Well, and now so I guarantee you we'll provide, or whoever that is, we'll negotiate these contracts to get China to buy their oil and stuff and everything else.
Yeah.
They'll get that. They won't pay what they were paying before.
Yeah, they'll pay way more.
Oh yeah. It's going to be a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Now, in this, I can't remember who said this, right? Yeah, never mind. Because I can't.
Well, and the big concern right now is, well, this will force a war between China and the U.S. No, it won't. And let me tell you why.
No, because
there's a whole different reason. There's a whole different logic.
Okay.
I'm going to blow your mind. Ready?
We're the consumers of the products.
I'm going to blow your mind. That's part of it.
I know.
But not only do we have the most capable military in the world, but there are more guns amongst citizens than there are amongst the military.
That's true.
What fool would bring his military to the U.S. soil in a direct attack, knowing that if our U.S. military made a call to arms to citizens, we would arm ourselves to the teeth and answer that call. So not only do you have to come over our military, then you're going to have to come over a very gun-happy population.
Well, and this is exactly what this. I mean, look, that's part of what the Second Amendment's about.
Yeah,
it's a tyrannical, whether we're talking about our own government or somebody else's.
Yeah,
and I mean that's not anything. I mean, I don't remember what military guy was talking about some war games about like saying how could someone infiltrate the U.S. and do an actual invasion of the U.S. And it was like, it's not impossible, but it was like, holy cow, this is going to cost an insurmountable amount of sold lives and everything else. And at the end of the day, it's still not a foregone conclusion because we are so well armed.
Well, and let's also be clear. The reason 9/11 happened the way it did was because they knew they couldn't come over the border of the U.S.
No,
they wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes.
But see, this is also look. I can't again. This is all we'll call it conspiracy theory, but the Biden administration, their freaking open gate nonsense is part of. I mean, you could infer that they were trying to allow foreign invasion into the country. There was that many. There's percentages of populations that were allowed in here.
Yeah, there were.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there were huge swaths of populations that were allowed to cross the border. And the thing about it is if you think that the border crossings were only about, Hispanics and No. There were Chinese nationals. There were Iranian nationals.
Islamic extremists. All kinds.
You got to understand that the reason he's pushing these people back out of the country is not because he hates other countries or has some kind of prejudice against people. The amount of danger that the Biden administration allowed across the border, the amount of known criminals that the Biden administration, they knew that they were a danger to people that they allowed across the border. There was no choice in this but to us to right the wrong.
Well, again, they're not deporting as many people as they should be.
Yeah.
I'm actually upset about this, by the way.
It bothers me.
I'm not, I want ICE to do more.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
And let's be clear too. Look, I don't want anybody to die. I really don't. Like, if it went perfectly, we would just put out a call and say, if you came in illegally for the 4 years you were with Biden, report to this airport. We will fly you home. That's not the way it works. And now you've got Americans with extraordinary amounts of mental illness, I will say, who have died as martyrs for the Democratic cause.
But not that many.
At the hands of ICE, but enough for the Democratic Party to force the hand of ICE to change their methodology. And that's what bothers me.
Well, I mean, but I don't, okay.
This woman was on video chasing ICE agents all over the city, impeding in processes. She was asked to leave when the ICE officers finally asked her to present herself. She attempted to run and attempted to run over an ICE officer to get away and got shot. Sorry, wrong. You can call it wrong place, wrong time. If I run up to a bunch of cops and I start acting like an idiot and I put one of them in danger and they shoot me, I probably deserve to get shot.
Well, but the framing there though, Brian.
Yeah, it's the framing. And then the guy with the police, sure, maybe a gun went off. You
were still there.
You advanced on armed officers, armed yourself, and when asked to relinquish your weapon, you refused and acted erratically. Good, bad, right, or wrong, you shouldn't have done what you did or you wouldn't be dead right now.
Okay, but the framing here, though, for this conversation and why that's important is just to know what we're getting after is that there is zero accountability for the elite global cabal, whatever you want to call them. There's zero things that are going to happen about the Epstein stuff. The Iranian conflict that we're in right now, it's not a war yet. It's not. Although it's, and I don't think it's even going to get there. To be honest, I think we're gonna. I don't know. It just seems like we're gonna just obliterate whatever we need to, and then we're gonna pull out. But the point is, all these things have global and strategic or whatever alignments and consequences and agendas from the things that we Americans in general, who are just going out and working every day and trying to raise families and all this stuff, that we're not involved in or whatever. And I don't care if it's Trump or it's whoever. It's like, I just want somebody who's going to run the freaking country the way they freaking ran their campaign on. I don't want to be the world police. I think that's stupid.
Well, but I will say again, we need to give some measure of leverage to the fact that we don't know everything.
Yeah, again, I'm saying that.
I mean, he may have totally meant no new wars. He may have been like, I didn't see this coming. Then again, the advisors might have come in and been like, hey, you know what? If we kick the two legs off the table, it's going to topple over and we're going to be in good shape, right? Things change. Do I believe that he did a good job at it? No, he didn't communicate it well.
He's not going to communicate anything well. And it does, because I think he really does not care.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't care what anybody's opinion of him is, which almost makes me feel better in a way, because too many other presidents have been very concerned about placating certain people and doing certain things right. I think honestly, what we're seeing from Trump, we should have seen in a lot of ways from Reagan and Bush and other presidents.
Well, Reagan was.
We've seen it in Democratic presidents. I mean, Bill Clinton slept it with every woman he could see, violated every promise he made. He was very bold about it. He didn't care. He lied once, and once he got caught lying, he's like, yeah, you're right. I diddled her.
Yeah. Impeached and didn't do anything.
Obama made no bones about the fact that he was going to enforce Obamacare and wrote into the legislation all of the pitfalls that are now happening and did it boldly and basically told everybody, suck it up, right? Yeah. So it's been happening. I think what's weird is this is the first time you've seen it happen from a Republican president who's been like, yeah, skip y'all, I don't care. Like, we're going to go to war. Now, I don't honestly think we're at war. I don't think so either. I think he did exactly what he should have done. He went in, he blanket ambushed them, knocked them to the point where they were weak, and then stepped back and went, all right, Israel, do your thing. And now Israel's handling the majority of it. So I think what he did was I think it was definitely a military incursion at one point, but I don't think he has any intention on being there past 30 days.
Yeah, well, and I have a problem with the line anymore about us being like Israel's beck and call and we do whatever Israel wants and all this kind of stuff. I have a problem with that too.
Yeah.
I don't think I think we do as a country have always had a relationship with Israel that is unique.
Yeah.
But between who our allies are, I would say that. I just don't, I personally don't see how we as a country, as politically and militarily powerful we are, would do anything unless we wanted to do it.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I'm at. Like, it doesn't make any, like, we have the money, we have the military,
the global influence.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense that we would be like, oh, Israel, whatever you say. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, it's not.
And I think that line of theory doesn't hold up if you just use some basic intelligence to just say, really?
Just think it through.
Like, look what we did. And again, we're 9 days in. We obliterated Iran, who's supposed to have a pretty decent military complex and everything else or whatever. And that was nothing.
Yeah.
Now, 7 Americans have died.
Yeah.
I think the count's 7 at the moment.
6 or 7, not sure.
I have it in here. Anyway, but so there's that. I mean, there's having just one, 7.
Okay.
Which is a bummer. A bummer is the wrong word. That's a travesty as well. But anyway, so the point being, though, I'm just done with the lack of accountability. I'm done with the lack of this relative morality that we seem to have between the uber wealthy and the average American. Leave me alone. Let me use my money the way I want to use it and go away.
I will say something boldly. I do not take Trump seriously when he talks about God and Christianity when he is not pushing the envelope to hold everyone in the Epstein files accountable.
Exactly.
I do not give any credibility to anyone on the left for caring about Iran when they are trying to steal the rights of kids to be raised in a normal household and not have to worry about conforming to whatever crazy psychotic ideology that you have.
Yeah.
Like, there is no credibility on either side. Like, it just doesn't exist. And look, I'm not anti-Trump. I'm not. Am I a fan? Meh. I give him that. I'll give him that. Meh.
Yeah, so it's far, a meh. I mean, meh. But you're right though. This is the key though, right? It's like, we don't care about the political stuff.
Yeah, don't, man. Just leave the kids alone.
We're Christ follower dudes who just look at it from a theological lens and say, look, this is either biblical or it's not. It's glorifying Christ or it's not.
Yeah.
Like going over there and freeing a bunch of Iranians and stuff is like one of those things where I'm kind of like, well, okay, that's cool. However, I know we didn't do it for that reason. Again, I can't prove it, but you just can infer that. Now, what I can say is that some moron out there with a Free Palestine stupid sound out there with the purple hair and who doesn't know what bathroom to use is definitely not glorifying Christ. I can tell you that right now.
My problem is this.
You have a lot of problems today, by the way.
I do, man. Like this whole thing bugs me from so many angles. It bugs me sometimes to the point where I have to stop talking about it because I get overwhelmed with how annoying it is. My problem with the left is not your purple hair, honestly. It doesn't bother me.
The color hair,
or if you want to. My problem is not that you want to free Palestine. My problem is that you don't have a first clue what you're talking about. You have no facts. You have no capability of holding up your argument. You flip to screaming and kicking and like a finite group of 2-year-olds. You don't do any research. All you do is vomit up whatever you hear on CNN and MSNBC. And don't get me wrong, Republicans are just as bad. Fox News just feeds everybody, fans the flames. And don't get me wrong, I've watched Fox News to get information, but when I get the information I want, I turn it off. I don't care about your opinion. I don't want your opinion in the news. Just give me the news. But I think that this whole thing has shined a light on the fact that it's not a control to one side or the other. It's a lack of control on both sides. And we've gotten so out of bounds that there's pedophiles and people who support pedophiles and people who befriend pedophiles that are being seen as innocent victims in all this, when the real victims are the people that they abused and took advantage of. And is it so hard to believe that the people that you hold up on such a pedestal may have been the people,
and you're getting right to the point.
Yeah.
Of this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not a despair moment for we Christian people to look at. This is where I mean this should just bring clarity.
Yeah.
To the whole idea that we are fighting against principalities.
Yeah.
That's really what this should really illuminate that. And if you really want to get now, I think that Ripperger interview on Sean Ryan's show is something that I think is a really good listen to. If you really,
I think anybody should listen to that
because the dude's sitting there saying he had a conversation with Satan though. So it's like, I don't know. That weirds me out, to be honest. Because I don't know if anybody's going to sit there and have a conversation with Satan.
If at any time on this planet I thought it might be possible, and I'm not saying it happened, but if I'm more likely to believe it at this point than I am at any other.
Well, but if you're curious about spiritual warfare or demonic entities and all that kind of stuff, you need to check him out.
Yeah.
I'm going to read his book. It's going to have to come after the Unseen Realm and the Michael Heiser stuff. But anyway, so look, that's all the time we got for today.
Hey, whoa. I have to say one thing before we.
Okay, Brian.
Jasmine Crockett, you lost. Shut up. Thanks. She lost. It's a glorious day in the neighborhood. She lost. I not that I care about her. She just, dude, listening to her is like listening to fingernails on a chalkboard, and she's so full of lies and hate
and ghetto, dude.
And
who was
so ridiculous, and then talked all that trash about how she was going to win, and didn't even and not to mention the fact that the guy that beat her is a gay liberal Christian supporter. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that talks about another. He's just as bad, just in a different way.
Well, we didn't talk about. Speaking of that, we didn't talk about the Kentucky Bashir's comment about his Christianity and stuff, and
but that's I don't know.
We haven't talked about that honestly because it's so stupid.
Yeah, it's just said something ignorant. But I'm not. And again, dude, you believe what you want to believe. We live in America, but
theologically, you were wrong.
But gloriously, Jasmine Crockett lost. And
Jasmine Crockett lost. Bashir,
and Bashir's crazy.
Bashir, they want to put him as people want to put this dude as up for president.
Please run him. Please run him.
Ugh.
Please.
He is not.
I'm begging you.
How has Kentucky been? Right. By the way, I mean, you know,
not great. As far as I can tell.
Yeah. I mean, come on now. All right, look, we're R&B Talks. We'll catch you next time. Look, subscribe. Check out our website. All those fun things. Thank you for listening on podcast and YouTube platforms. More to come.
I'm Brian.
I'm Reggie.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.